they casually let it slip that they bet on fights, even on fights that they're involved in. What would you say?
I don't know, man. I think it depends on the situation. I mean, I think that, you know, a lot of fighters, like Floyd Mayweather, for instance, was really well known for betting on himself during fights. I don't think that there's anything wrong with betting on yourself. I think that the main problem lies in when there's something more devious or shady going on behind the scenes. Like, for instance, if a judge might have been paid off, if a referee might have been paid off, if another fighter might have been paid off, that's where the real problem lies. And the incident I do believe that you're bringing up is probably the James Krause incident.
Of
And
course, yes.
I like James. So when it comes down to it, there's still an investigation going on. I'm an investigative journalist basically by trade, so I do a lot of research into the people that I call out, and I try not to make any knee-jerk reactions just because it was in the ether that something might have happened. So as of right now, I'm not going to really do anything with that information until I know all of the information, which is nothing. All we
Mm.
know is that there was an incident involving a judge who is really shitty.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
particular judge has screwed over friends of mine, like for instance Angie Hill. She was the queen of like getting the wrong end of judges' decisions, and the particular judge who's under investigation right now is one who has kind of screwed her over too in some pretty weird decisions. That particular judge sucks. Do I think that we should necessarily blame fighters or anything like that? Well, if they're involved, of course, but if they're just betting on their fighter, who gives a shit? Like, of course, you want your guy to win and you hope your guy wins. I think the real issue isn't betting on your fighters. The real issue would be, are you paying off someone? Are you bribing someone? Are you taking advantage of the system? Those are the issues.
Wow. So the judge, I think, uh, when it comes to stuff like this, my memory goes a bit foggy. His name's I was just listening to a podcast or to some content about him today on YouTube. That he even stalked Aaron Hawani or something, or someone, a well-known journalist within combat sports. I think he's done quite a few things, as in he's well accomplished in certain areas or so. But of course, for the judging, including I think especially the fights that have just happened with Paddy Pimblett and Jared Gordon, that his the same judge we're talking about, isn't it?
I don't know anything about anything other than what's going on right now with the investigation. That's the only thing I've heard about. So
Uh,
if that judge has done other weird things, good to know, but it's not information that I know about.
you couldn't. What's the guy's name? If you say it might help jog my memory.
What
Particular
guy?
judge, the judge in question.
Oh, I don't know the judge's name. I know the
Uh,
fighter who is being accused of being involved in some type of an issue with that, but
uh,
I don't know the judge's name off the top of my head.
my memory has failed me.
It's all good, man. Everybody knows
No,
when you say that judge that it's the judge is being investigated, so it's not that big of a deal. You know,
no, no.
it sucks because what happens is that winds up tainting the water for other people, and it's no mystery that in the history of combat sports, there are terms like taking a dive, there are
Mm,
terms that involve bribing someone. And so when it comes to this particular incident, that's nothing new to combat sports. It's just fairly new idea and concept to MMA because it's like hitting this big stage. And it seems like a lot of people thought that that wasn't something going on in MMA. It sucks, but it is something that goes on and it's something that should be monitored and taken care of. I think that it's interesting. The UFC made a very quick decision to say, hey, like while this person's being investigated, they're done. But the one thing that I found weird was they said anybody who's actually training with James Krause is not allowed to compete. And that's, I mean, I don't know. That's a little tough. I can understand their standpoint because they feel like maybe there's something going on with that camp that's involving, I'm assuming bribery is what I'm assuming. Something shady in terms of the book. They're seeing something nefarious, and obviously they know more about what's going on than I do. But from the outside, it's just it would suck if they did that, and then fighters left that camp, and then it turns around to turn out that James Krause wasn't involved with something like that. But that's just with the information that I have now. So hopefully they're making the right decision.
You you say you know James, you met him as in you acquainted with him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say like, an acquaintance is a good way of putting it. We've
Okay.
chatted every once in a while, and he's been somebody who has supported my page, and we were in talks of me going on his show. So, and I still would be happy to go on the show. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with talking to people. Everybody makes mistakes, everybody screws up, and at the end of the day, they should be called and called out and held accountable for what they've done. But at the end of the day, I think open dialogue is important to understand.